Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we have a movie, Hackers, 1995. It's a pretty old one. And before we start, I have to make a few excuses, right? Because nobody liked the movies, so it's my turn to make excuses. How I've chosen this movie. But it was very simple, you know. So I listened to some IT podcasts, and it was a kind of anniversary. Am I right, actually? Anniversary? It's like, you know, when 10 years from some event or 20 years from some event happened.
Your case study?
No. I mean that in this podcast, they mentioned that it was a few days ago, it was anniversary of this movie. So it was like 20 years or something from
25, maybe 25.
25, yeah, movies.
Probably.
Yeah, like years like this movie had been published. And many people say that this movie was iconic. I don't know why. I have never watched it. Yes, so I decided to let's see how hackers presented themselves, you know, so many years ago. So how we see the hackers back then, because now it's totally different. I watched it. I found it complicated. I found it's kind of strange, but let's see, right? What we can think about it. We don't have a characters list, so we have to improvise. Help me with this. So the main one is Dade, right?
Dade.
Who else?
Okay.
Let's write. What was his name?
He had two.
Crash override.
Crash override.
Zero call.
Crash override. Okay, let's mention one. So Kate, right? Another one, a lady. Acid one, right? There were three their friends. I don't remember.
Serial killer. Lost Nico.
Okay, just three friends. Okay. And this security officer, what was his name?
Plug.
Plague. How we pronounce it? Plague?
Plague.
Plague. Do you know what is plague?
Yes.
What?
It's kind of disease.
Kind of disease. It's very, how to say, mortal ones, dangerous one.
Deadly. Usually we call it deadly, which means it causes fatality or mortal injuries. Yeah.
Leila, do we have plague now? Like, or we used to?
No, thank you. No.
So we can cure it?
Always frightens me, you know. In history, we just read this. It happened in France.
Okay. And I remember FBI or some just federal security agency officer, right? Gibson, right? So that's the cast, right? So we know their names, we can use them.
Yep. Okay,
let's go to the questions. And we can start from the first. Leila, to what point you watched the movie? Tell me.
Only one. I can answer. That's all.
So let me give you first question, right? Then.
Okay, the film starts with the Zero Cool, and he was about 11 or something like that. The police came to their place in a, just suddenly, I can say, because of his hacking somebody or a file, I'm not sure. And he was forbidden to use the computer for some time, right?
Yeah. Until he was 18.
Until he was 18, thanks, teacher Lee.
An adult, yeah.
I mean, he was a genius. I mean, his intellectual abilities are so good. It was said that intellectual power or something like that.
Yeah, but what he did, do you remember? He kind of damaged some computers of a company. So company lost some, how we call it, points on
data, lost some data.
Yeah, some systems were malfunctioning. So it's how to say it? It influenced the price of the company, right?
Usually, can we say some systems collapsed?
It said 1,507 systems. So I don't think it was computers. I think it was companies' computer systems.
Mhm.
And because a bunch of companies had hacking damage, the stock market dropped.
Yes.
So do we use the word collapse?
Collapse. Yep. That would
Yep.
work. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And I know that we have a real life example of such activity. Sergey, isn't your company had a hacker attack once?
Yes, we had.
So, and so all the computer systems of your company were damaged, right? Damaged and did not
Yes,
work.
and 4 years ago, we had the huge hacker attack, and the virus with name Petya attacked a lot of computers in Russia and in Europe, include my companies, and my screen suddenly froze. And I read some points about please send us $300 in Bitcoin. In other case, you will have the problem. What? It's not movie. It's a real life. I am living small city in Europe. What's the hacker attacks? I didn't understand it. And finally, our computers, a lot of computers in our company, in my city, in Siberian, in Moscow, in Switzerland, in Czech Republic, in USA, was damaged, and our IT department spent 7 days for solve this problem.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine a huge metallurgy, right? Metallurgy industry plants were paralyzed just because of some boy played with computers.
I can't imagine. You know, it will stop our lives.
Yeah, it's possible if it's a medical hospital or something, right? So
Right.
something vital. Yeah. So my point was why I asked it, Sergey, because it's not like just a movie plot. It's something that happens all the time in many cases. I know that some Volkswagen, do you know this company Volkswagen for
Yeah.
cars? They were attacked as well, and they decided to pay hackers to unlock the systems, just in case, because they did not want to wait for 7 days for restore of system or something. So it's pretty real.
But I really don't understand this. You know, you have got your computer, and what do you have to do in order to hack somebody or a company? You know,
Yeah, but
it's so interesting.
They use robots to do a lot of operations quickly, and it just overloads systems.
okay. Well, I know that you are a teacher in the school, right? So do you have any materials or plans for teaching people on your computer?
Sure.
Okay,
Lesson plans.
just imagine for a second that all of them erased. So you will be in trouble, right?
It's a kind of backup, right?
And your backup could be erased as well. So at one moment you lost your information.
And I can't have it have them back, right?
Yeah. So it's what hackers do, but they usually don't erase your data, so they don't delete your data, but they crypt it. So now only they know the password how you can access your data. If you pay, they will give you a password. If you don't, they will delete it. So that's
I will give them money. No, they will give me money so I can let them use my material.
let they teach people now, right? They teach children now.
No,
Okay.
anyway, I have to update my material so they can use.
Well, but in Sergey's case, in case of of big plant, of big factory, it was different.
Sure. I was thinking of the banks. That's
Right.
one of the most important places.
Right. Just imagine that your bank send you an asset report and say, you have nothing. So why? Because it's zero in our system, right? So what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yvonne,
so
do you remember about maybe 20 years ago? What I remember is the internet got really, really slow.
Yeah.
And the reason was a boy in Australia had hacked something and slowed down the entire internet all over the world. a boy in Australia. You know, it's like, it's unbelievable what they can do.
Because it was easy, when internet was built at the beginning, it had not been protected at all. So anyone can send any kind of data to anyone, and it has no kind of cryptographic signatures or anything. So people started to think about this gradually during the time. So, but in the beginning, it was totally open system. Okay, so this guy, we don't know how. Probably it's not necessary that he did an intent to ruin something, but probably he did something that lead to malfunction the system, and that's why he got convicted, right? So what we don't know about him.
I suspect he was malicious. I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, probably. But sometimes such things happens, in without intent. So I have seen this many times. People make mistakes, and sometimes these mistakes can switch off the whole internet. It happened a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go forward. So what about his mom? Vasant, could you tell us? Number 2.
Yeah. Zero's mom. She's a single mother. After that, I think she became a single mother because we could see his father in the courtroom. So she raised him very well, and even though she knows that he made some mistakes or unlawful things, she always supported him for what he is capable of, because at the early age he hacked into government system, so he was a genius. So she was aware of it, and she protected him and all the way, all the bad things.
Yeah, she was supportive, right? She did not seem like she treated him like a criminal, right, or something. So it was a normal family, right? Nothing, no drama about this. Okay, let's go to TV stations episode, right? Do you remember this? Sergey, could you explain this TV station hack?
Cool Zero wants to change the TV show, and he called to the TV station, and he used the social
Engineering?
social engineering and use a number of modem, and he connected to this modem, and he changed TV show. And when TV show started, when a new TV show started, other hacker called wrote some chat to Cool Zero, and they started to fight between each other, and the other hacker won.
So, do you remember what movie Cool Zero wanted to watch?
Yes, outlet time.
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits.
Yeah.
One of my favorite sci-fi shows. We have control of your television set.
We watched it. It was very funny. Let me ask Vasant.
Sorry, can I ask something?
Sure.
When he did this, everybody watching television at that moment can see what he was watching, right?
Exactly, because it was broadcasting, right? It was one signal for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Vasant, do you know what is modem? So this device that call it operator.
Yes, it is also called a router, right?
Sometimes, or sometimes we call it router. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be used to get the internet connection from the internet service provider. It can be distributed to so many local computers and mobiles.
Yeah. So, nowadays we have a kind of computer internet wires everywhere, right? Optic and everything. But in the old time, you have to use old lines for phone to connect to kind of small networks. And for this, there is a device, modem, which means modulation and demodulation. So you send information with these signals. Sergey, would you like
Yes,
to?
and I remember the modems era, and I remember the voice from modem.
Signal.
And my mother wanted to call to something. Please stop to use the internet. I can't call.
Actually, did you have ever had modem access to internet?
Oh yeah. I had the old. I think 28 baud was the original, maybe 14 baud. It was horrible. It was horrible. You had to dial the number and wait and hear the dial tone. Yeah, it was terrible.
I think we will never explain this to our new generation, right? So
I know.
it was.
Then, and some companies have actually had what we call an acoustic coupler. They had to actually pick up the telephone and put it in an interface to the modem or something. So I mean, that was really primitive too.
Yeah. I remember the speed was so slow. So my first modem was 56 baud, I remember, and to see one picture of the cat, internet made to distribute cats pictures. So to see one of them, I have to wait, I don't know, 15 minutes at least. It was terrible.
You got what they called high-speed internet. It started out at 14, and then 28, and then 56 was like, wow! And now today it's like, oh my God!
Jan, you ever used modem in your life?
Yes, I do. I remember the speed was a few kilobytes per second. And when DSL appeared, I joined DSL because it was a big
DSL was good. Yeah,
Nice
improvement.
Yeah. So we are, we are how to say it? We all are old-fashioned, right? We know things that are obsolete in real life. In real life, modems are useless. Okay. So number 4. What was unexpected event? Jan, do you remember number 4?
What unexpected event happened during his hacking on the TV station? He encountered the Kate Angelina Jolie character, and she said this was her turf, her territory.
Yeah.
And there was a feud between them.
Yeah.
Acid Born was her name, Acid Born or something like this.
Yeah.
And do you remember this old, how we call it, VHS tapes, right? Actually, so this source of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So
Old technology. Yeah.
Okay, Gerald, could you please continue to number 5? So who is Kate Libby?
She is a girl, she's a hacker, and she is going to the same high school than Dade. And at the beginning, there was animosity between them. But he liked her from the beginning, and he changed his class to go to her class by hacking the high school computing system.
I remember the day one, she made a joke on him, right? A prank. Do you remember which one?
The swimming pool in the top of the building, on the roof.
It was a nice one. I like this, right? Especially, I like his answer. Do you remember what was his answer to this prank?
No.
He hacked the system for anti-fire system, with water. And when everyone gets wet, he said, this pool on the top, he got leaked or something.
Yes.
He got a leak. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Okay, let's go with the story. So Joy Pardella, I don't know, Pardella, it's a guy, one of the guy of this hacking group. And what trouble did he get into? Leila, do you remember this, or you finished watching?
No, my dear friends, no. I remember the guy, but I mean, I don't want to watch more.
Okay, Volo, so help us. What kind of trouble did he get into?
He wanted to show that he is a hacker and he stole some garbage file.
He broke in, right? He broke in into the system of some company.
And stole some, copied some garbage file that improves that plague is bandit.
Yeah, but at that time he didn't know nothing about plague, right? So he just broke into the system to download the file to show how good he is, right? To other group. Yeah. Do you think it's something that people should do?
No.
Why not?
It's not. No.
Because police will knock into your door, right? And ask you why you're doing so.
Yes, and I remember plague. Tell all people that something bad about Joe Padilla and
okay. Okay, let's stop on this one because it can be not understandable. So this guy, the young guy, Joe Pardella, he just downloaded a random file. Actually, he did not mean that it's something important, right? But coincidentally, right? This file was important for security officer, right? For Plague, because it was some kind of secret info in that, right? So Plague started a war against Joe Pardella. Right? He called it secret service and tells him, he's this guy, he broke in into our corporation and going to make some harm. Right? Do you understand what we're talking about?
Yeah. What I was thinking that after these people, the hackers, have the files or, whatever they have, they don't use it against anybody, only to show that they are good, right?
Yeah, particularly this group of hackers, they were young, stupid boys, right? So in general, so they wanted to show off themselves, right? I can break the system, right? So it was not like a commercial project or something. It was just showing off. But coincidentally, they got a wrong file from a wrong people.
Yep, like Joe, right?
and it always happens. Nowadays, stupid boys, they try to hack the mail of their, girlfriends to see some photos or something, and they think it's all, just how to say it, just a game, right? But after that, it's a crime in most jurisdictions, right? So they got into trouble by doing some stupid things just because of having fun, I guess.
I agree, right?
Yeah. So never try to log in someone else's email. In many jurisdictions, it's a crime already.
Sure, of course.
So the FBI knock on Joey's door and take him away. And his mom's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, he was surprised, I guess. Okay, we understand his trouble, so let's talk about the disk. Vasant, what was on this disk? Why it was hidden and copied?
It had the garbage files from the company's database. And if anybody has that file, they can get through the back door, I believe, so they can hack the system or something. It's a crucial part of that company, I think.
Ellingson Mineral Company.
Ellington Mineral Company, yeah. I like that name, it also represents the EMC square, some kind of
EMC,
yeah.
And that should have been their logo, E equal MC squared,
Nice. Sergey, did you want to add something?
Yes, the disc looks like the old stylish 3.5 inches disc, and in the past we used two types of disc, 5 inches disc and 3.5 inches disc, and now when I explain something with working computer to my children, they ask me, what's the icon? It's for the save file. It's a disk. What's the disk? It's a disk 3.5. What is it? But
Yeah. So how many information?
Old
How many?
flash
Yeah.
stuff.
Sergey, how many information could you store on this disk? Do you remember? About
I don't remember, but it's not.
1.4 megabytes for floppy disk. 1.4. So it's
Yeah.
less than the picture. You know, one photo from your mobile
Yeah.
phone now. So, but it was enough at that time. I remember it was. You know, I had my floppy disk and I had like 3 games on it and my, you know, homework and something else. It was-
Yeah, they used to just write on one side, and then
Yeah.
later they wrote on both sides, and they doubled the amount, and then they made it double density, so they like quadrupled the amount. So they kept getting better.
Do you remember the former ones, the very flat and thin,
yeah,
5.5 inches?
Yes. This
Very
one.
fragile.
Very fragile, right? And you cannot put it on the sun or something, so it's very, very dangerous. Yeah, Sergey, please.
Yes, imagine the huge minerals company, Ellingson, who has a lot of computers and a lot of system. And one guy, and I can imagine it, one guy downloaded some file and who wanted to save a lot of information to 3.5 floppy disk, 1.8 megabyte. And it's a problem with the process.
Yeah. So many fraction of data creates so many problems. Yeah, but it was exact the same data, you know, incriminating data.
At one time, my computer, I was in Taiwan when Windows came out. At one time, I had 4 floppy drives because I got sick of changing floppies all the time. So I bought 4 drives and I had 4 floppies loaded simultaneously, so I wouldn't have to swap back and forth.
Yeah, nice, good old times.
Yeah.
Okay, so we understand that this disk was copied, was hidden, right? So, and it was very important for plug, right? So how does plug try to get the disk? Number 8. Sergey, do you remember?
Number 8. How does plug try to not?
Giraffe, can you answer number
I
8?
think was threatening by the change the information of his mother.
Yeah.
So the police could come and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Somehow he traced the track to that, right? To what is it? To Dade, right? And then he started to first to bribe him with a new computer, right? Do you remember this? I will give you this perfect example, you know, of computers if you give me this disk back. And another one when he did not agree, right? He said, you know, I will change some data here and your mother will be hardened criminal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was interesting. Wow.
Yeah, nowadays we all understand, right, that this kind of danger of information systems. Nowadays we understand that, you know, you change 1 byte and you are bankrupt, right? Or you change, you know, 1 record and you are a criminal. But I think that back then, 20 years ago, it was something, you know, some new idea, right? So some kind of random guy changed information and you are a criminal. So looks very dangerous.
Yeah.
But now we used to live with this, right? It's very, very simple. Okay. What about number 9? Can you cover this?
What do Kate, Lord Nikon, serial killer, and Dude figure out is on the disk?
Probably it's what is on the disk, right? So when did they know what is on the disk?
Right.
They understood that it's a virus.
Yeah, they kind of analyzed this file, right? And understood that it makes some kind of bad activity. Do you remember what kind of activity it was?
Swarm.
Yeah, it's called worm. So worm is kind of a program that can replicate itself to many distributed systems.
Yeah, when Armstrong sent one transaction, for example, $1 million, and this worm accepts several 3 or 5 cents from each transaction, and accountant didn't see this problem because a lot of transaction, big volume of money, and 1 or 2 cents you can't account it, and this worm stolen these cents and accumulate in this special account of head of IT department and head of HR department.
Yeah. So do you think it's kind of a real thing or it's just fiction?
Yes, I think it's real because I I read some articles about it.
Yeah, Leila,
Well-
can you imagine that it's real? You know, so just imagine some bank, right? Bank made a lot of transactions a day, right?
Yeah.
So
In
it's
my country, we read a lot of things about this. I mean, some people were arrested.
yeah, so it happens from time to time there and there, here and there, you know, that people start to take some small fraction of cents, right, that you probably cannot see on your account
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
accumulate them, and it became to be millions of dollars, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was done in an old Superman movie. In the original Superman movie, Richard Pryor, a black guy, did that. He wrote a program. Yeah, normally, banks take decimals out to like 12 decimal places.
Yeah.
So you might have instead of saying 0.02, 2 cents, it might be 0.02222222. So his program took everything after 0.02. So he took the 0.0002. He took that long fractional part of a penny, which is a tiny amount of money, and he sent all that to his account. And over time, millions of those, he built up a lot of money.
Sure.
Let me ask someone. Gerard, what do you think? How many numbers after the decimal point do we use in financial programs?
I don't know, 8? I don't know.
Yeah. Recently, we started to use 20.
20.
20, my God.
So the last program that I have seen from financial sector, it used 20 decimal points, to be exact, because all these cents, it's because humankind now produce enormous amount of transaction. We pay for coffee, we pay for, I don't know, for ticket in the bus. So Visa, for example, say that they have, I don't remember exact number, but like 60,000 transactions per second. And
Wow.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
And Bitcoin, I guess it must be more decimals because 1 Bitcoin is a lot of money.
Yeah, 1 Bitcoin is approximately $20,000. So yeah, so fraction is very important. Yeah, 1 cent in Bitcoins, it's it's something. It's it's $200, right? Okay. So they understood that it's a worm, right? That accumulates the money. But let me ask Leila, what do you think? What is the main problem when you accumulated all this money on some account? What is the main problem for you now?
You misuse everything, you steal money, so you are under trouble because it's illegal, right?
You are right. You're right. But the main problem, Leila, as I see it, it's to transfer this accumulated account to your personal account, right? When you do, it means that out of the blue, you have $5 million, right?
People can, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. People can just check. Okay. Sometimes it happens as well. Right?
Yeah, and that's important to understand because it's the reason why Plague planted kind of a I would say, terroristic act, right, by damaging these oil ships just to distract everyone from this transaction, right? So if you make some big damage, everyone in the company will be busy with this damage and nobody will pay attention to this transaction. That was his idea.
Yeah, and even nowadays, the banks in my country are really, really careful, and they took a lot of precautions. Even me, when I want to send some money to my son, I have to write a very reasonable explanation.
Leila, nowadays the problem is kind of opposite. Nowadays, we have a saying in financial sector, we say that money that you put in the bank, not your money any longer. It's money of bank. And now you have to,
Yeah, but the thing is that they can ask my son, okay, who sent you the money? Why? How much? And I can't, for example, send more than blah, blah euros.
Yeah. So it's your money, but you cannot, do what you want with your money.
Of course.
They will say, you can do this and that, but not that. So my question is always why, if it's my money, technically, right?
Well, you can do what you want, but they want tax. They want you to pay tax on the money.
Teacher,
Yes,
you
yes.
used to live, no, teacher, you used to live in a free country, probably.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's much worse than this. So much worse. I cannot, let's say I decided to send some money to Sergey, right? So first of all, they will ask a lot of paperwork on this. Who is Sergey? Why are you sending money him? And then they usually can say, it's we're not allowed to do this operation without reason, right? Just not allowed.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why we say that it's bank's money, not your money anymore. So in many countries, it's like this.
Yeah.
We have a cutoff $10,000. If we deposit or transfer more than $10,000, then you have to answer some questions. Where did this money come from? I won it in the lottery. Show me your lottery ticket right here. Oh, okay. We just have to prove that it's legitimate money that we got somehow. And then it's
But
okay.
isn't it good, Teacher Lee? A lot of people are sending some money for bad reasons. So I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
Leila,
The government's doing it to get tax money. They want tax on it. That's why our government's doing it.
Okay.
In my country, we cannot buy something more than 1,000 euros in cash. So you can buy up to 1,000 euros using cash, but then you have to do electronic transfer, Visa, or electronic transfer.
Wow.
Gerard, I had the same problem. When I arrived to Turkey, I wanted to buy a monitor, right? So I went to the store and say, sell me one. And they say, okay, we cannot take your cash. Give you a credit card, right? But I did not have a credit card from Turkey at that moment. So I don't have my monitor now. I have money, but I cannot buy. Weird.
But I didn't know that. How come?
Because you are Russian or everybody? It's everybody's.
There is a limit.
Yeah.
There is a limit for buying something for cash, So there is
for foreigners, right? Because I can buy.
I didn't know.
As Leila.
In the USA, and this may technically in the USA, all of our money, if you read our money, you will see on our money, it will say this currency is legal tender. And what legal tender means is you must accept it in payment of any debt. You can't say, I don't take cash. Right here on the money, it says you must accept this as payment because this is legal tender cash. You must accept it. But like you're saying, now today, government people are saying, I'm not going to accept cash. Well, wait a minute, you have to, Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
Sergey, do you have a comment?
Yes, 3 weeks ago, I bought a new car, and the seller told me, you can use, and I asked him, can I use the card for buying? Yes, but we will take 3% from your transaction. Please pay cash. And a lot, it's new car, a lot of cash.
Yeah. So you have
You're talking about monitoring. In Russia, please use cash. And I am an old school guy because I don't trust in the digits in my credit card, in my account. I trust only cash because the hard time, and I trust to cash only.
Okay. So you have a mattress with cash in your home for your
Yeah. It's not. No. It's not my mattress.
Yeah,
Okay.
back in the old days, maybe 30 years ago, Americans would all go to Hong Kong because you could buy electronic, computers and electronic equipment really, really, really cheap. But the problem with that was, one, they wanted you to pay cash, so there was no electronic evidence of the transaction. Number two, they didn't want you to use American Express because they charge a very high fee. And number three, once you bought it and left Hong Kong, there was no warranty. If it didn't work and you called them, they'd say, "We don't know who you are." So a little risky.
Literally, if they pay in cash, then they don't have to pay the tax.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't have to pay the government tax. So a lot of immigrants in the USA, they want cash. They want you to pay them in cash over here because they don't want to pay tax on their income.
Yeah. Sometimes cash is the only options, right? Because let's say all the Russians, they are what's the name for this? Banned from using Visa and MasterCard. So I have my bag with cash with me, So
Ivan,
yeah.
From Italy, I can't buy a mobile phone without paying a lot of tax.
Yeah.
Because when I come to my country, in order to make my phone calls, they want me to pay a lot of.
Yeah, I know. A lot of stupid restrictions. Right? That's why hackers do a right job, by challenging government, not to be just jerks, What else? Do you know any restrictions of using cash in India, or it's just, your money?
I mean, using cash means the limit are.
So you have a limit, right?
No, we have no limits,
Okay. So
if it's a huge money,
yeah,
you have to pay taxes. The government will have an eye on it.
If I bring $1 million to Delhi and buy a house here, no one will ask me, right? Something.
They will definitely will ask you. Because there is a slab. Up to that mark, you can spend for a month, I mean the month you can spend 1 million in Indian money,
Okay.
More than that, then they will suspect you and they will ask you for the source of income. If you are already submitted everything clear, and then you are good to go. But if your income is low and you are spending so much money in a single month, then they will ask you for the source of income and you have to pay the taxes.
So they analyze, right, the income and your, what's the name for this? Expenditure. I don't know.
Expenditure.
Expenses.
Even
right?
last month I got the call. I'm a generous guy who helps all the relatives and friends. They give the money and I transfer them for their sakes. But my department a couple of weeks ago they asked me to come and they asked for the explanation. Then I said that I did it for my relatives and friends, and they don't do that. You will be in trouble. The headquarters, from the New Delhi, they picked your particular account and asked for the reason. So don't do that. They said that. So okay.
So. Yeah. So it's why I ask all these things, that because nowadays in my head I have very different definition of hackers. Nowadays, hackers is those who fight with mainstream, which try to restrict us. But we can discuss it later. Okay, just to finish the story. So number 10. So what was their plan to stop this plug use theft? Losans, can you answer number 10?
Yeah, they asked help from the television celebrities
Mhm.
who also had the contact to various hackers around the world. So they sent the message, and while they were the four of the friends doing hacking, the rest of the world also started to attack the system. So the bad guy got confused and he couldn't cope up with the pace of all the hackers. So they won.
Yeah, but sometimes it looked very silly, right? All this disturbance of agent, and was pretty. Probably at that time it was pretty kind of new ideas, right? That you can create so many problems to one guy just just using information technologies, I guess. Okay, number 11. Vova, could you please cover number 11?
Yes. When Dade and his friends are arrested, how do they turn over the contents of the disk to their other friends?
Mhm.
Uh, um, as I remember, Dade, when he sold disk to the bin.
Trash bin, right?
Trash.
Yeah, to the trash. Yeah.
Trash.
And then?
Somehow he informed serial killer
Mhm.
that this disk in the
Yeah, so the place of the disk, right? Yeah, so like kind of just a drop. How we call it? Drop the hidden place. I don't know. Drop.
Yeah,
a-
what happened was he put it in the trash can as they were being arrested. He dropped it in the trash can, and in the crowd, he said out loud, "All you cops are throwing out my hard work in the trash can."
Yeah.
And that was the secret message to his friends to go look in the trash can.
I remember that one guy had a, in America, if you arrested and you caught, how to say it, brought to the police department, you can make one call, right? Teacher me?
Yeah.
I remember, Gerard, do you remember a guy, he wanted to make a call and he told some number to the officer dialed this number, and what happened after?
I don't remember.
It was interesting. It was kind of a social engineering again. So he did not want to tell the officer the real number of his friend, right? Of his kind of friend who is a hacker also. So he told officers just random number. When officer went away, he kind of canceled the call many times. And when operator asked what happened, he said, something wrong. Please dial this number.
Wow.
Okay. I missed. I remember something about that, but I didn't catch what was going on. Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of social engineering again, right? So it was a kind of a way to dial a secret number, right? So nobody knows. And he delivered a message.
Wow.
Okay, Leila, I kept number 12 for you, but since you did not watch the movie, I have to ask Gerard.
I can make a guess.
Yes, please. Make a guess.
Let me read the question. What romantic scene unfolds as the movie ends? Unfolds, it means turns out, literally?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they have become heroes because they found a guilty man, and I think this is it.
Yeah, but what is romantic in being hero?
Could be the mother and the son.
That's not romantic.
No, at all.
Romantic is-
Okay, Lisa, no, Kate and Dade.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Okay.
My son is going to come, so I'm just thinking of him nowadays.
Okay. Gerard, so what was the bet between Kate and Dade?
I think the winner, I think it, should wear a dress.
Yeah.
The loser should wear a dress.
It was,
So
it was
Kate-
so fun, right? So sexist, I would say.
Yes. And I think Kate also has the same. to
Yeah.
Dade, also to wear a dress.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dade was on the top of a building in a swimming pool, like like the reason of the feud
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah, yeah.
The show was a beautiful, happy end.
They friends hacked the system of I don't know how we call it, light company, energy company. They light their names on the building, right? So it was interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crash and burn.
Their names were Crash Override and
Yeah.
Acid Burn. So crash and burn is an idiom in English. If you crash and burn, that means you fail horribly. So their names made out the phrase crash and burn. So they made the lights on skyscrapers read out crash and burn. And that was how it ended. Yeah.
Actually, how we would describe a girl who is, who is not showing that she is a girl, who is dressing like a boy, who is playing with boys. So is there any kind of adjectives we should use?
Yeah, we call them tomboys.
Tomboy.
Yeah. So Katie definitely was a tomboy, right?
Yeah.
And this bet, that Katie, if you lose, you will wear a dress. It was kind of a small offense, right, to her. What do you think? Was it offensive?
It was not offensive, but it was not her comfort zone.
Yeah. So a moment try to tease her a little bit, right? I try to do something like, and I like it how she reacted, Leila. Do you know what she say?
No.
She said, okay, if I lose, I wear a dress, but if you lose, you wear a dress, for a boy.
But at least I think in last decades, girls and young women don't wear dresses, only just in special occasions.
Yeah, my little girl, my little girl was a tomboy. She liked to climb trees and wear pants and get dirty and play and be rough. And she took ROTC in college, and she did the obstacle courses where you climb on a rope bridge and all kind of boy stuff. Instead of playing with baby dolls, she played with alien sci-fi monster figures, So she was, she liked bugs and insects and spiders and snakes. She wasn't a typical girl. She never wore makeup, thank God. So she didn't do girl stuff. And even today, she's not really, she's not gay or queer. She just doesn't like to, she never carried a purse. She used a wallet in her back pocket like me. She just didn't like girly stuff. She just liked boys. She acted like a boy. It was just her nature. So she never would rarely wear a dress. And my wife used to hate it because my wife liked to, dress up her hair to look like Princess Layla, with the little buns of hair on the side. And my daughter hated it. Said, "Mommy, it hurts. So my daughter hated that stuff.
Well,
she wear a pretty dress, can't get dirty. Yeah.
It definitely is changing, right? All these borders changing during the time. So nowadays it's kind of different, I guess. Sergey, can you imagine that you are, when you was a small Russian boy, could you play with, a doll?
Repeat the question. I don't understand.
When you was a small Russian boy, were you allowed to play with a doll? I'm not asking about wearing a dress. Just playing a doll.
I think not. But
Yeah, could you cry? Because you was touched by some movie or something.
I think
You were alone.
just the question looks kind of strange, right? So boys never cry. It's what was I told.
It's wrong to say that.
Leila, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that we should do, but it was a time when I was born. If I cried for any reason, just got hurt or something, everyone around would say me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Watch yourself. Boys never cry. So
It's the same in my country, Ivan.
We had that in America too. Back in my old days, back in the old days when I was a kid, if a boy cried, under 18, if a boy under 18 cried, it was kind of a little shame. And the dad would always say, big boys don't cry. Be a big boy. Big boys don't cry. There's a song called Big Boys Don't Cry.
I don't understand it.
It's
Well,
unmanly.
yeah,
Unmanly.
these borders are changing with time, but I still don't think that, let's say in Russia, some boy can wear a dress. Sergey, what do you think? Is it possible?
Pink dress.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible in Russia now if a boy wear a dress?
Not. I can imagine because we have a problem in one city in Yekaterinburg when boys wear a dress in the 1st of September, the celebration of the Knowledge Day, and it was a scandal.
Yeah, it was probably
Big scandal around of Russia.
Yeah, just to make more, just to give you more context, it was in one small town. One boy wore a dress, just to make a provocation and something, and it was in federal news this day, So that's hard it was, So it was impossible to think about. So we have a, I don't know, is it a good or bad, but it's just a reality.
And what about carnival? Can you wear dress? Do you have carnival in Russia?
I don't think so.
Or Halloween?
We have a carnival for New Year.
But do you think you can wear a female costume, Sergey?
Yeah.
You can? Well, I'm
Carnival is carnival.
Not. For a male costume, for female costume.
Yeah. So you cannot dress a female costume. It's just impossible to think.
But you can, but it looks strange.
You would be thought to be gay. People would think you were gay.
I'm not thinking. I don't think it's especially about gay things or something. But people will be shocked to see they did. So why? It's just impossible to think. So why he did this? So it's a kind of a provocation. So what is wrong with him? So it will be very deep sense for this.
Yeah.
Vola, what do you think? In your school, can you wear a dress? If you wanted. No. Okay, still nothing changed. Okay, so that's all about movie, right? Do you have any questions? Should we discuss anything more?
Yeah, I think one question about hacking. Is it true that if you have visas with contactless technology, someone can put a device close to your visa and steal your money? Or is
you are talking about wireless payments, right?
Yes.
This one. Yeah. In general, it's impossible. But in some rare case, if your card just made wireless payments and there are kind of a window of 2 or 3 seconds, so it's possible to make the same payments again. So, but the chance of this is miserable. So it's in general, it's impossible. I know some people put wireless cards to the metal packets, but don't do this. It's silly.
Okay, because there are bullets that they are, they have some protection.
Yeah, protection. So wireless payments, they are pretty much secure. So it's hard to do it, but it's a very famous, how we call it, urban myths, right? So people believe this.
Urban legend.
Yeah, urban legend. Yeah, exactly. So, okay.
One thing that I don't like about TV, movies is hackers. A hacker, they'll walk to a computer first time they've seen this computer and they'll go, "Let me hack it." And they'll hack it. Okay. How did they hack it, Ivan? They don't have. If they pulled out a disk, with hacker tools on it, and it said, "Let me load my hacker program," I could see it. But to just come with nothing in your hands but your fingers, and you go, "Okay, I hacked it." How do you do that? You can't do that.
It's
You
just it's just inside the movies, you know. In
Yeah.
real life, because before any hacking attempt, there will be a long period of preparation. So people will collect information, how your security works, what the ports are open, so and so on. So
Exactly.
it will take weeks at least. Then they will prepare tools, as you said, and attack can continue for 1 second, but preparation period is very long. So it's you know, speaking about this exact movie, what I did not like about it, you know, all the hackers, all the computer engineers I have seen in my life, they were nerds, or how we pronounce it. So they, nobody of them, you know, used roller skates or, you know, or took their time in the bars or something. They spare their time in the basement with computers. You know, they don't have social life.
They weren't freaks. Yeah, they weren't freaks with spiked hair and wearing dresses and doing stupid stuff. You know, they weren't idiots.
So imagine, you know, a hacker group who is hanging in the bar is something, you know, something from different reality. So I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Sergey, please.
Anyway, I watched this movie 15 years ago, and I imagine the hackers looks like this movie. And I thought about it, but yes, and some devices, some dress interesting. But after that, after a long time period, I started to understand that it's not real. Because I meet you and I understand it.
Sergey, I have a few pictures of this, you know, hackers on my screen now.
Yeah.
It seems to be more natural for them, I guess. So,
but see, these guys, nerds look weird, but they don't look like a freak.
Alpha males.
Yeah, they look like stupid males, but they don't look like women or, you know, weird gay people that are 5 genders. You know, they're just weird looking men.
All of them wear glasses.
Now, it's worth mentioning, Yvonne, that there's an international hacking organization called Anonymous, right?
Sometimes, Teacher Lee, it's hard to say. There are a lot of allegations, but we never know exactly. So sometimes, you know, all these hackers groups, not all of them, some of them hackers groups, they belong to some governments, some, you know, security organizations or something. So sometimes they probably looks like North Korean soldiers, you know, I guess.
but I think there's a group though called Anonymous. They use the mask that you just showed, the hacker mask.
Yeah, this one on the left. Yeah. So Anonymous, it's kind of, it's not like exact group as far as I understand it. It's like an idea, you know. So this mask, many people pretend that they are members of these groups. So it's kind of something, you know, some meme, if you want to put it in this way. So if you want to pretend that you are, you know, a real hacker, you use this mask usually.
Okay, because they a lot of times they'll preempt television programming and they'll say, "This is anonymous. Your government is betraying you." You know, and it sounds like to me it's kind of an international organization that work together, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, but this Dmitry Sergeyevich this is a typical hacker, if you ask me. You know, a young boy with, you know, looking like kind of nerdish. So that's what I think when I think about hackers.
Yeah, you don't have a job, so you got time to waste to do that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else? Any questions? Okay, we have time. Yeah.
I would love to be a hacker myself. I could get free Netflix and free Prime and free HBO and free Hulu and free electricity, you know, free phone service, free internet. I would hack all that stuff and get all of it for free.
Actually, you raised an interesting point, you know. So let me try to answer this. So let's say what you mentioned, it's probably, I don't know, Netflix is $5 a month, right? So electricity is $100 a month. So everything you mentioned, probably $1,000 a year, right? But average salary of information kind of programmer, like in US, started from let's say $12,000 per month. So probably all the hackers, they just go and work in IT because it's more profitable. And you know, it's something real what I'm talking about. So nowadays there are no hackers almost, because if you're a hacker, you'd better find a job, you know, and be richer than your hacking attempts. That's the idea.
Yeah, but if you're a good hacker and you can get $1 million like that with ransomware, that's pretty profitable. You know.
Okay, we have a joke. I will try to find it. That most of the hackers nowadays, they actually belongs to government organizations. They're kind of a spies nowadays. So yeah, really, they pretend to be independent, but most of them works for, you know, most of them have a rank, I would say, in government organization.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do some slides, right? What does mean these numbers? I can see some symbols.
Yeah, it's a distorted text.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
looks like an old monitor, right? Old monitor with, I don't know how we call it. It's
CRT?
CRT.
Yeah.
How we call it? With jam.
Yeah, movies like to do this a lot, or even company logos at the beginning of a movie. They'll show the text kind of jump around like it's unstable video signals.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what this is supposed to be. Yeah.
But how I call this effect? Is it tears or something usually? When you see them clear on the CRT.
See them clear.
Yeah.
We just call it the noise, the electronic noise, we just call static.
Okay, no, it's static. Okay, it works. Yeah. Okay, and we can see from the first one, I guess. Okay, Leila, could you please start with this picture?
He's about 18, and he's in his room, and he's trying to reach the TV station, right? He's going to hack, and that's how he met Kate and Ed Riker. I can see the old type of computer, and on the right a can of Coke, and his guitar, or are there more? I'm not sure. And,
I noticed a few more details. Can you see this clock, Leila, or watch?
Yeah. It is a bit dark, but I can see. It is old.
I think it's a radio clock. It's a combination radio and clock.
Yeah, literally.
I've never seen a computer like that in my life. It looks like a microwave oven.
No, teacher, I've seen once. It was a company, Yamaha, Japanese company, produced such computers, and we have a lot of them, I guess, in Russia back then. So it's
really okay. Yeah, I've never seen that kind ever. That's weird. Okay, Yamaha. Okay.
Yeah, I start my career with such a computer a long time ago. But Leila, can you see the time on the clock? It's 4 a.m. deep in the night, right?
Yeah.
So night is the time of the predators, right? Of hackers.
I can see 3, but not more. And what I have noticed, his room dark, but there is red, yellow, green. What's that? A kind of curtain, or?
I think it's a surf, a board for.
Wow, could be made of wood.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
which is totally impossible for a hacker, I guess, to have a surf. If you have a surf, you have some kind of life, which usually hackers don't.
Right.
Okay, and speaking about this cone, it looks very strange to me. What do you think it could be?
What's
on
that?
The left? Yeah, on the left we have we have a guitar on the left, right?
Yeah.
And something on the pole, some kind of, what is it? Microphone?
I think it's a musical instrument, but I'm not sure. There's some strange musical instruments from Asia that look
I can
funny.
see the plug. I can see the plug there. Did you see?
Yeah,
between.
I think it's just guitar.
guitar. Yeah.
Yes, it's like. No, this is lamp, and
This is
behind,
Lamp.
exactly. This is a lamp. It's just a
behind it, it's guitar.
Oh, desk lamp. Okay, desk lamp. Okay.
just lamp. Just the angel. What we see this angle. What we see it. It's very
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's right.
Well, on the right, can you see a kind of a fax machine or something? I guess it's a copier.
I
A
think
phone.
could be a
yeah.
printer, fax machine. I'm not sure because I don't see the old ones.
Yeah,
But
I
there is a
don't know.
kind of piece of paper there.
Have you noticed that he wearing black, kind of dark glasses, right?
Really?
I can't tell.
Yeah, I have seen this in the movie. So these hackers in the movie, they wear dark black glasses. So for what? During the night, so like they are working on the beach. Right?
To hide their pupils dilated from drugs.
What is there on the computer? A kind of what? Bowl or basket?
Nothing.
Looks like a glass bowl, yeah, with something in it.
Right.
Maybe candy or something or snacks.
Yeah,
Hackers like
Maybe.
to snack. Yeah, they don't stop to eat; they snack.
on the left, he had a book. He has a book, right? And this book, it's hard to tell what is written here because it's too small. But we can see that strings are almost the same, right? These lines are almost the same. So it makes me think that it's kind of a dictionary or programming dictionary or something. So operation codes or something like this. Okay, not bad one for the beginning. His mom, right? Another hacker. Okay, let's take this one. Vasant, could you please?
Yeah, this is where he visits the college, I think, and
Yeah.
he meets his friend who was talking on the phone. I think it's a pay phone. It can be used with coins, you know. Oh, nice. You can see it's weird dressings and everything.
So what kind of what I think why they need so many phones in one row, right?
Yeah, I think if it's a residential school, then it's okay to call their parents and everybody. But they just a day scholar, you know, they come in the morning and go in the evening. So why do they need that much number of phones?
Actually, do you remember? Did you have phones like this in your school?
Not in my schools, nah. Not that I remember. We didn't have much of pay phones.
Mm-hmm. In this movie, they used these phones to enter the internet, right? With modems. I remember during the hacking attempts. Yeah.
Don't remember.
Okay, so not too much here actually in this slide. And Vasant, where is his guy now? What is?
He's on the roof, and the girl burned. She misguided him to go that there was a swimming pool on the roof, so go and check that. He was there in search of the swimming pool, but found out that a bunch of students who were just how to say that
So Vasant,
avoided that.
you can open this door from inside, but you cannot from outside, right?
Yeah, once it's locked, then it can be only opened from the other side.
Yeah, but why to have such a door on the roof of the building? What do you think?
Yeah.
To avoid unnecessary access from the outside. Somebody jump off.
Yeah, but who is walking on the roof, right? On the Spider-Man.
Yeah, I suspect that.
Yeah.
30-20 stage, I would say.
So what you may have missed it, but the reason there were other boys already up there is all of them tried to hit on the girl. So one by one, she sent them all up on the roof. So they all got trapped up there. So when he went up there and the doors closed, they say, Don't let the door close. Click.
Oh,
Which
okay,
is-
now I
which is-
understand. Yeah, I thought they were say that they were on to do something, they had a purpose on the roof, but I didn't know that they all were trapped by her
Yeah, so she
mischievous
played a
activity.
trick on all of them. Same trick on all of
Okay.
them. They were all in the same boat.
Oh.
Yeah, but if I was one boy of them, I would stay just around the door, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Let's go to the next one. Let's find something. Gerard, do you remember what is happening now? Here?
Okay. They hacked the anti-fire system, the sprinkles, I think, the sprinkles.
Sprinkler system.
Sprinklers. The sprinklers, so they would work at some time, and he was controlling the time. So he had an umbrella prepared not to get wet, and then Kate appeared, and she was very soaked, drenched in water, and was his revenge for the prank with the swimming pool on the roof.
Yeah. Have you noticed the picture on this white T-shirt?
Yeah, a cat with a rose.
Not kind of a toxic masculine, right?
No, the guy
Yeah.
is queer. I think he was queer, maybe.
Yeah, he's gay. I think he kind of dressed like a girl sometimes and talked like a girl too. I didn't like him.
Okay, Sergey, please.
Yeah, and I remember about competition of wet T-shirts for girls.
Competition of bad T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sergey, could you please describe this picture for us?
Yeah, there's a classroom, and we can see the main character and some guys of their hacker teams, and the black board with something I can't understand what they maybe this is calligraphic class. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yes, and the lady with hockey T-shirts and New Jersey Devils, I understand, and she wanted to delete the dude from this class because she understood that he didn't be this class, and we can see other guys and ladies with typical tables and chairs.
Mhm.
For us.
Desks, probably, right?
We call them student desks. It's a desk and a chair in one piece.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the
Yeah.
teacher's desk.
Sergey, do you remember how teacher Liv told us to call this girl who is acting like a boy?
Tomboy.
Yeah, exactly. Tomboy. Nice. Okay, next one. Gerard, would you like to take another one?
Okay, we can see some books related to computer. So that all the hackers are together.
Mhm.
And I think it's a nightclub.
Seems so, yeah.
The glasses are plastic glasses.
What about
Computing
this
magazine.
figuring on the left?
Mannequin?
Yeah, mannequin, probably. Yeah.
I don't know what that thing's supposed to be. Yeah.
Decorative function, aesthetics.
Mannequin. Yeah.
Mannequin.
It seems pretty dark and strange to us, right?
Yeah,
I'm
strange
not-
place to get a meeting
Yeah.
between hackers.
Yeah, if you want to talk, right, with each other, probably there is a lot of noise, I guess. Good place, yeah.
You cannot communicate properly.
Yeah. Okay, Leila, could you please take this one?
I don't remember, but
Yeah,
I'm
just
trying
yeah,
to
just
tell you. It looks like a meeting room, and could be the company. I'm not sure. Because I think there is some equipment on the left on the table or desk, and there are some Chinese, Japanese, I'm not sure, people's photos or pictures on the wall, and their faces are, they look serious, and must be a problem that they are discussing, and could be the company meeting, I think.
Yeah, it is actually. Usually, in many movies, when it comes to some kind of corporation or something, kind of high positions of bosses, I often see Japanese-looking people. Do you have a stereotype that they are kind of businessmen? So why we do this?
A lot of CEOs tend to be Japanese in the old days. I don't know why. But yeah, generally our stereotype of a Japanese CEO is he's probably corrupt, because Japan was, don't forget, after World War II, Japan became an economic giant. So Japanese CEOs were like, billionaires or millionaires. So they were often hired by American companies to guide us in their economic miracle, but they don't have the same prestige today. Today, a lot of our CEOs are Indians, like Apple or Google. I think they often have Indian CEOs. And I'm like, Japanese, Indian, don't we have any Americans that can be CEOs? I'm a little biased, but a lot of our CEOs are foreign people for some reason. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Sergey, do we have the same in Russia? So who are our CEOs in big corporations? They are Russians or they are? Yes,
Russians.
Yeah, mostly, right? I remember only a few exclusions. Okay. Vasant, could you describe this one?
Yeah, this is where he was playing with the virtual. Let's see, is that the right word? It's a VR headset, I think. Okay, VR stand, virtual reality headset.
Yeah, virtual reality. Yeah.
But I'm surprised that this technology, they used this technology way back then. Came to the market, recently. Okay, then it is not a free movement. He has to be in a contained space so that he can play it without bumping it on any wall. And you can see a lot of stationaries on the decorations and so many debris kind of thing, files and everything.
Yeah, but shelf on the left looks pretty organized, I would say. Some equipment there. And I guess for 95, for year, like 20 years ago, this virtuality reality set, just impossible modern, right? It looks like
pretty advanced for back then. Yeah.
I would think that if I watched this episode back then, I would just did not understand what is happening on. So why the glasses are on him? So probably just didn't understand.
Yeah. Notice that I hadn't seen this before, but he's standing in I hadn't noticed it, but it looks like a VR stand with a leather rail so he can't fall, because when your eyes are covered, you might lose your balance and fall, I guess. So he's in a little stand that keeps him from falling. Yeah. He's also wearing a cowboy vest with a sheriff's badge. So he's wearing a cowboy thing for some weird reason. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Sergey, what about this one? So what town is this? What do you think?
For me, it's New York, because it's a typical picture from news about America, from the travel bloggers, a lot of advertising boards, advertising screens, and a lot of information from exchange offices, and thus we can see some old style skyscrapers and new style skyscrapers and car FedEx, and some advertising maliciousl, Dade. It's a company who made a compact cassette for
VHS probably. It's called.
VHS and the compact cassette for voice.
Recording. Yeah.
Yeah, Fuji. It's old
About
style.
photography, I
companies.
think. About
Fujifilm.
photography.
Fujifilm.
Yeah, in my
Cameras.
opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in my opinion, these companies now are not rich or are not popular because they can't to adjust new world.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a period of time when Japan had copied the Kodak camera
Yeah.
and made a lot better cameras. So there was a period of time when Japanese cameras were like the world standard and their film was the world standard, but they've kind of lost that position in the world now for some reason.
Yeah, but for a moment, if you would ask me what is city is this, I would think about Japan. I don't know why. It's kind of a picture I had in my head. I
Yeah,
wouldn't think about America.
I almost thought it was Japan too, because Sony and Fujifilm, big, but it's got to be America, because if you look next to Fujifilm, there's a U.S. Marines recruiting station. Sign up for the Marine Corps, become a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And also FedEx on the left side. FedEx.
FedEx. Yeah.
FedEx.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so time flies fast. And that's,
Wow.
I guess,
Yeah.
all for today. Thank you for coming. Nice to have you back. The movie was not beautiful, but we will have a chance for a better movie next time, right?
And Angelina
Thank
Jolie
you.
disappointed me on this one.
Yeah. What to do?
Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Thank you,
Thank you,
Teacher
Lee.
Louis.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.